They are accusing Democrats of saying we spend too much. For anyone that wants to entertain that thought, I ask you to think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them, that their Social Security check was too high, that teachers are paid too much. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?
Today's hearing was fiery. Chip Roy versus Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The debate centered on government spending, debt, and the role of big government in our lives. AOC tried to argue that government doesn't do too much, but Chip Roy wasn't having it. He tore apart the illusion of helpful government and laid bare the truth. More government means more debt, more control, and less freedom. Before I get into the details, hit that subscribe button so you never miss these powerful breakdowns.
Another quote. President Biden already lowered the deficit by $1.7 trillion. They say his budget would cut the deficit by another $3 trillion by eliminating wasteful spending on big oil and pharma, we're told. But it is in fact our Democratic colleagues who prefer to maintain their massive subsidies for the elites and the wealthy in their so-called Inflation Reduction Act just last year. My friend from New York, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, said, quote, I ask you, think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that? I'll say it. I'll say it right here. I don't want the government doing most of the things that the government is doing to interfere with the ability of the American people to carry out their lives. Federal, state, and local. When was the last time you had a bureaucrat show up and you said, oh joy, thank you, I'm really glad there's a bureaucrat here? When was the last time you were thankful for $32 trillion in debt, $100,000 almost for every man, woman, and child in America? Anybody thankful for $32 trillion in debt? Anybody? Anybody thankful for a border that's wide open being exploited by cartels while fentanyl comes in and kills our children? Everybody thankful for that Department of Homeland Security that doesn't actually secure the homeland? Everybody thankful for an FBI that went after Scott Smith and labeled him a domestic terrorist for daring to defend his daughter in a school board meeting because she was assaulted in a bathroom? Anybody thankful for the IRS knocking on your door, auditing the poor and the minorities 3 to 5 times more? People thankful for that? Are you thankful for the EPA or the Department of Interior that sent a man to prison because he had some ponds on his ranch in Montana? We have a government that is weaponized against the American people and is undermining our liberties, and they want more of it. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle want more government. They want more taxes. They want more spending. They want more bureaucrats knocking on your door.
AOC claimed no one ever complains about the government doing too much. No one says Social Security checks are too high or that teachers are paid too much. But Chip Roy responded with a simple question. When was the last time anyone was thankful for a bureaucrat knocking on their door? When was the last time Americans felt grateful for $32 trillion in debt, nearly $100,000 owed by every citizen? His point was clear. Government isn't helping, it's suffocating. Democrats love to say Biden lowered the deficit by $1.7 trillion and will cut another $3 trillion. But Chip Roy exposed the truth. They're still pouring money into subsidies for elites and corporations under the so-called Inflation Reduction Act. The so-called savings are smoke and mirrors, while America's debt crisis grows worse by the day. Chip Roy drove home how government overreach fails where it matters most: security. The border is wide open, cartels are thriving, and fentanyl is killing our children. And yet, Democrats want to expand the very system that can't even protect our communities. He asked the simple question, who's thankful for a Department of Homeland Security that doesn't secure the homeland? Silence from the other side. Roy pointed to real examples of government abuse. The FBI labeling parents like Scott Smith as domestic terrorists for defending their kids, the IRS auditing poor families and minorities at disproportionate rates, and the EPA throwing a rancher in prison over ponds on his land. Instead of serving the people, government is punishing them. Chip Roy made it crystal clear, more government doesn't mean more freedom, it means less liberty, more debt, and more control over everyday Americans, while elites collect perks. AOC's vision is one of bigger bureaucracy and endless spending, But Roy stood firm for the American people. If you stand with freedom over government control, smash that like button right now. And don't forget to subscribe to Capital Insights so we can keep exposing the truth about what's happening in Washington. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.